Guess who's back? Back again. Ernie's back. Tell the fam. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Na 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 na. Welcome back to the channel, family. My name is Ernest Ariano III. This channel is the Third Ernest, and y'all guys are the third fam. And when I say welcome back, it's a true welcome back. It's been like a week and a half since I recorded a video, and that's because I was studying hardcore for my Securities Industries Essentials exam, which is the first step into going to being a financial advisor. I appreciate all of the family and all the love that I received when I passed. I passed on Thursday, took a little bit of a break just to kind of decompress my mind because that test was not the easiest test ever. I think the pass rate was like 30% out of the people that took it that day, and your boy was one of them. So I appreciate all the congratulatory messages that I received. I appreciate all the good luck that y'all guys were sending my way, and we done did it. The break was well needed, but it feels good to be back making videos once again. And there was a lot that went down over this past weekend. MGK got dissed by some rando dude that I never even heard of. Eminem had a feature with someone that I never even heard of. And then most importantly, which is what this video is about, is that HOPSIN put out a song. Basically, from what I understand from the people that have been messaging me telling me to do it, you know, he's not in the greatest of places right now, and he's gonna be done with music for a while. I still haven't heard the song because I wanted to wait for the reaction. I'm a big fan of HOPSIN. I'm a big fan of what he does, his whole anti-establishment vibe that he's got going on. And I do know that he's going through it. You know, he's been going through it for a couple of years now with his management, with his baby moms, now whatever this situation is. You know, it's a rough time to be HOPSIN. And anyone who knows anything about HOPSIN knows that the boy is not one to shy away from putting out songs and putting out music that reflect how he's feeling and the things that he's going through. So that's what we're reacting to today. We got HOPSIN, I Don't Want It on deck. 3.1 million views 1 week ago. We're gonna go ahead and get right into it and see what we got. Got my trusty shitty headphones right here. Let's go ahead and get it popping, fam.
This will probably be the last song that I'll come out with for a while. I'm sorry to all my fans.
I understand the feeling of needing to feel sorry, like for your fans who are like relying on you for music and things like that. But overall, it's just all about mental health. Same thing with YouTubers. They feel the need to put out videos on like such a consistent basis. And you know, the internet is such a fast place and the world moves so fast that if you don't put out any content for a certain period of time, the world's gonna forget about you. That's true, like if you go, you know, months without putting out anything, unless you're that type of channel like iDubbbz, let's say, for example, where he puts out a quality ass video like once every month and a half, then that's your style. But if you're a person who puts out videos like 3 times a week, but you need to take a step back because mentally you're drained, mentally you're burned out, like that's gonna show in your quality of work. And I feel like most dedicated fans, not the fair weather fans that are gonna go back and forth, that are gonna unsubscribe, you know, after you missing 2 uploads. Those people are gonna unsubscribe regardless. Those people are gonna stop listening to your music regardless. Most fans that are semi-loyal, from what I found out just through my 19,000 subscribers that I have, is that if you need to take a break, you know, take that break. They care about you just as much as they care about your content. And they know that your content is a byproduct of your mental state and your mental health and the fact that you love to do this and the fact that you're passionate about it. So normally if your mental health goes, the quality of your content goes, and that's not what they signed up for. And most human beings are gonna be decent enough to say, hey, how about you take care of yourself before you take care of us as your fans? Because at the end of the day, most of the time you're putting all this stuff out for free.
I'm sorry to all my fans.
Beats fire.
I always think of Robin Williams, someone we loved and who we saw appealing. He made us all laugh as adults and children. Shit, all the millions that he had. I wonder what were his thoughts and feelings 5 minutes before the belt that cut his breath off and killed him.
This is about to be a very introspective song, and I can tell that this is going to be a dark song and that HOPSIN right now is in a dark place because he's talking about, you know, relating already. The first line in the song is him relating to Robin Williams, who committed suicide and who was a bigger presence than HOPSIN's ever going to be or ever was. And that's not a knock against HOPSIN. That's just talking about how big Robin Williams was. Obviously, he was depressed, committed suicide. You know, people have all these underlying problems that they don't want to bring out to the open.
I wonder what were his thoughts and feelings 5 minutes before the belt that cut his breath off and killed him. Probably something like my thoughts now. What goes up is gotta fall down. I guess I pour it all out, cause right now the Reaper's in the room visiting. So if I do leave, at least you know why I did it then. It started.
He obviously sounds suicidal. because he's wondering what Robin Williams was thinking right before he committed suicide, and he's saying they're probably similar to the thoughts that I'm thinking right now. You know, this is not going to be very bar heavy. A lot of this is going to be pretty straightforward. Leave it to HOPSIN to speak in such an eloquent way on the mic when he's spitting about potentially committing suicide and letting us know where his thoughts are, you know, and basically saying that if I do this, at least you'll know what was going through my mind because I laid it out on this track. I don't even know what to say other than that. Like,
was in the room visiting, so if I do leave, at least you know why I did it then. It started way back then when I was a kid at first. Niggas bullied me when they saw that I was an introvert. I was never cool, had no friends, no chicks would flirt. Every school year, it's like all my issues were getting worse. My whole life.
Bullying is a real issue that goes on. You know, especially during the period of a child's life when they're like being molded and like they're the most vulnerable state of mind. Like they're trying to learn who they are. They're trying to learn about the world. And the world that you're learning about is about getting bullied. It's like a vicious cycle. You're introverted, then you get bullied and you don't want to talk to anybody, which makes you more introverted.
Friends, no chicks would flirt. Every school year, it's like all my issues were getting worse. My whole life they was calling me corny, stupid. I never had a dad who was there to mentor me through it. Skateboarding was my escape. It wasn't just for amusement. My issues kept reoccurring, so I would resort to music.
This is basically like Lupe Fiasco, but on the darker side of Lupe Fiasco. Lupe Fiasco started skating to escape the south side of Chicago and the problems that come with the south side of Chicago, one of the most violent neighborhoods in all of the United States, which is one of the reasons why he made the song Kick Push. But there's a Kick Push 2, which is basically the darker version of the same song. And that's pretty much where HOPSIN's category fits in. The radio-friendly Kick Push makes it sound like, damn, this kid was consistent, you know, he had a dream, he got a taste of passion through skateboarding, found a love interest through skateboarding who shared the same type of identity with him. But the Kick Push 2, the love interest that he found through skateboarding, they only connected because they both had rough upbringings and had a rough home. He says, and he found himself a white girl, but just because she was white, see, her life was a light world. She too had the drama thick. Had a daddy and a mama, but a daddy used to mama hit. These suicidal feelings will write a switch over the transitions, help her conquer it. And that's why she skates with he, someone to feel a pain and a place to be. Basically what HOPSIN's saying right here, that's why he picked up skateboarding. And that's gonna make him even more of an outsider where he's from. Because the stereotypical black kids don't skate, and only the weird black kids are the ones that skate.
It wasn't just for amusement, my issues kept reoccurring, so I would resort to music. I'd vent about the burdens that were sitting in my heart. I'd vent about the way I felt from swimming with the sharks. My mom was always working, so our bond was stripped and ripped apart. Ain't no fucking family memories, ain't no pictures at the park. Then I thought, the world is about to see hell come, and I'ma live the good life everyone else wants. And in that moment my tears dried and I felt numb. Then years later I blew up, the mission was well done. I don't want it no more, I don't want it no more, no more. I don't want it no more, I don't want it no more, no more. I don't want it no more, I don't want it no more, no more. I don't want it no more, I don't want it no more.
Everybody wants a taste of fame until they get to that position and it doesn't fulfill them. The mom's struggling to support, he has no father figure, he's reaching out to these outlets that are normally not the correct type of outlets to deal with your anger and deal with situations that are going on. And he's saying he knew for sure that if he made it in this music game, he was going to turn everything around. Things ain't always what they seem. Everybody wants to be in the limelight until they're in that limelight, and then it's not even the same. It's not what they thought it was going to be. And I'm sure people who are listening to this song who are not dealing with these type of issues in their mind are like, the fuck do you mean you don't want it no more? You're at the top. Like, why would you not want this? And look at all the people in media and in front of the camera who deal with drug issues and depression and suicide and things like that. Chester Bennington, Linkin Park, Chris Cornell from Audioslave. We got Robin Williams, Heath Ledger, Amy Winehouse. The list goes on and on. Those are the only ones that I can think of off the top of my name. But these are people at the pinnacle of their career. And it's not what they want. They would rather not be alive.
Finally, I was famous, people kissing my ass. I knew that I was only here cause it's revenge for my past. It's crazy. Went from a loser in school who got the worst grades to being praised for all my verses when I disperse rage. I copped the whip.
He doesn't want it because everything that's associated with the rap and everything that's associated with the lyrics and the bars that he's writing down are negative thoughts from his past. Like, he got famous off of the trials and tribulations. Some people will see it like, damn, I made it out the hood, I made it out the rough life that I had by telling my story. Other people, like HOPSIN in particular, from what it sounds like in this song, are seeing it like, damn, these people are being entertained by my pain. Would they still love me in the same way if I didn't have this rage, if I didn't have this depression to talk about? That's deep, and that's something you got to think about as a fan. Like, do you really love HOPSIN for the creativity, or do you love him because of the things that he's saying? It's crazy that I just went on the NF journey and the NF train, because I feel like they're very similar stories on complete opposite ends of the spectrum. Like, obviously HOPSIN is struggling with the fact that he's putting out all his issues and putting out all his anger and his pain onto these tracks, and we love the lyrics and we're basically entertained by his pain. Whereas NF and Nate, he's basically doing the same exact thing on the other end of the spectrum, but he's happy to be helping people in the situations that they're in, maybe that they're seeing the light, that it's not just them going through it, and they're also being entertained by his pain.
To being praised for all my verses when I disperse rage. I copped a whip, moved out the ghetto like bye haters. Bought a brand new house with a bunch of white neighbors. Everyone started calling one like 5 favors, and guess what? All of it dealt with spending my paper. And I was nice, I'd give him cash, I'd show sympathy.
Just like Eminem, when he blew up after Marshall Mathers LP, everybody wanted a piece of the money. He got cousins coming out of the woodworks. He's got his own mom suing him, trying to get a piece of that money, trying to get a piece of that limelight fame.
And I was nice, I'd give him cash, I'd show sympathy. I gave him some, him and her, I'm just lending cheese. Now I'm just looked at like an ATM machine. If I don't give my friends my money, shit, I'm the enemy.
This is the reason why a lot of NBA players go broke, because they feel like they got to bring their friends with them to the top. You know, it's one thing to, you know, have supporters and show love for the people who was there with you shooting in the gym. But once you get to the top, people are going to leech off you. And if you don't give in to the leeching, they're basically going to say that you switched up, that you changed. It's a lose-lose situation. Another reason why people don't like fame.
If I don't give my friends my money, shit, I'm the enemy. I had about 1 million new best friends that I just met. Some were plotting to build me a deathbed, all because they kept on putting whack songs out that no one's impressed with. So why the jealousy, they diss me, you fucking guessed it. At least I had my squad, Jaren, Dizzy, Hopper, Swizz. I knew we stick together, stuck in this chaotic biz. We had it all figured out, it had a lot to give. It was funk volume for life, who want a problem, bitch? Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we parted ways. 2016, those were some of my darkest days. Ask us all, whose fault was it? Ain't hard to say, but it was due to money and all of our bonds that start to fade.
Bruh, money changes everybody, whether it's for the better or for the worse. And this is extremely similar to Eminem's story when he talks about how D12, when they lost Proof, like that was some of his darkest days. Obviously, he lost his best friend, but also his group, the group members that he grew up with, they all just parted ways because Proof was the glue that held D12 together. You know, like I have a group of 6 friends. They're the second family. My first family, blood relatives. Second family, those dudes. Third family, y'all guys. Imagine losing one of your families. Like I got my family, obviously, who raised me, who made me into the man I am, disciplined and so on and so forth. But outside of my family, the way that I interacted with these dudes made me into the dude that I am today as well. And imagine losing that. I wouldn't even know how to deal with that, which is one of the reasons why HOPSIN is going through what he's going through, because he lost that second family. And he didn't even have a first family to begin with. He had half of a first family, no father, mother struggling, things like that. So really his second family was his first family, and now he lost that, so now he's just like alone in the world.
Oh, whose fault was it? Ain't hard to say, but it was due to money and all of our bonds that start to fade. Months later, my girl told me she's pregnant. This was something I never expected. Her and I weren't on good terms at the time, man, it was hectic. And I was scared if she kept this baby, I might regret it, mainly because her and I had a fucking toxic relationship.
If you haven't heard HOPSIN's most recent album, a lot of the album is about the toxic relationship. Even Illmind of HOPSIN, 8 or 9 or whichever one it is up to this album point, is about his toxic relationship. He's talking to his son, who's not old enough to understand anything, but he's talking to his son in the track, basically saying your mom ain't shit.
He kept this baby, I might regret it, mainly because her and I had a fucking toxic relationship. Last thing we need is a fucking toddler to raising it. Having a baby is great, but not as amazing when you got 2 parents who always fighting, hollering, breaking shit. Present day, all my people are gone. No real friends, just leeches around eating the crumbs. No family bonds, no FV, can't be with my son. No fucking girlfriend, I swear I thought that she was the one. I feel.
Bro, losing the girl that you thought was the one, hardest shit ever. On top of that, she's the one that had your son, and she wouldn't even let you see him. From what I understand in the album before is that they're all the way in Sydney, and he can't even go back there because he was charged with like domestic violence against her, or she pressed charges against domestic violence. I don't know if he got charged or not, but he can't even go see his kid even if he wanted to. Then he lost all his friends, like I said, and then he didn't have a true structured family, like I said at the last part. And he says he's living life alone. The only thing that's left that's entertaining him are these leeches. Imagine just living your life alone And the only people that are reaching out to you are leeches, people wanting money. People are holding on to you for the clout. People trying to get fame just by being alongside you, and that's the only reason they're there. Without the fame that you have, they wouldn't be anywhere near around. Imagine living that life.
Son, no fucking girlfriend, I swear I thought that she was the one. I feel alone, and I struggle to give my fans what they want from me. I'm struggling to build this UP company. I'm begging on my fucking knees like, God, please help me, cause I can't fucking breathe. I'm trying to smile, but pain is cutting deep. Show me that I'm more than just a rapper. Show me that this life that I've been working on is meant to be more than just a disaster. I hope this message...
Show me that I'm more than just a rapper, that this life that I've been working on is supposed to be more than just a disaster. That's heavy. Like, no one wants to be the dude that's only capable of one thing. You're struggling in life trying to find your identity. You want to be more than who you are right now. And then you got to go and put on this mask and try to be an entertainer and have this energy that people can feed off of. And you don't want them to know that you're down in the way that you are. Imagine putting on a mask every day, every time you step on stage. And this is why people resonate with NF so much, which is why he's so popular, because of the whole mask thing that he's got going on. Like, people feel that. Imagine that energy. Imagine how draining that is to have to pretend to have to put a mask on every single day of your life to just do what your profession requires of you.
Me that this life that I've been working on is meant to be more than just a disaster. I hope this message I'm sending is floating up above. Instead of focusing on fame, I should have focused on the love. I don't want it no more. I don't want it no more. No more. I don't want it no more. I don't want it no more. 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 No more. No more. I gotta go find myself. I hope you all can understand.
You find yourself, HOPSIN. You find yourself, Marcus. Bro, the boy's going through it. You can tell. And that's one of the reasons why people who like HOPSIN like him so much, because of the fact that when he's laying his heart and his thoughts on the line, he puts away the similes and metaphors, he puts away the wordplay, and just tells you what's going on and tells you like it is and makes it extremely easy to understand. There wasn't too many bars to break down. Most of the talking that I did was more so just introspective on what he's saying, not necessarily like, oh, this meant this, or double entendres or what have you. From what I gathered from this song, I don't think he's going to do anything to himself. Pray to God that he doesn't. Not because he's HOPSIN, but because no one wants to see somebody take their own life, regardless if they're in the shadows or regardless if they're in the spotlight 24/7. The song is a dark song, but there's light in the fact that you can tell that he knows where his problems lie. He might not have exactly a path to fix them just yet, but pointing out the issues is step number one. You can't go on a path without knowing where you're going or what you're trying to defeat. So I'm sending my prayers up for HOPSIN. You know, hopefully he gets better. Hopefully he finds, you know, his happiness, finds his light, finds his reason for being. Obviously, music is not doing it for him at the moment. So that's just how I feel about it. But yeah, that song is definitely deep. He's not in the best state of mind right now, but I'm confident in the fact that because he knows where he's at, that he can get through it, regardless of how much time it takes. If you're going through and know anybody that's going through something similar, like I always say, the link for the suicide hotline is in the description of this video. But if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, regardless if it's this video or past videos that you may have watched, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We will be putting out videos on a consistent basis. But I appreciate everyone for spending their time with me on this video. Like I always say, go out there and love and spread positivity in the world. Love and care for one another. And I'll just see y'all guys in the next video. As always, peace.